She tells you she's fine, she says she's just tired, she laughs things off and changes the subject, and yet you can feel the distance growing anyway. You might even think she's the one hiding everything, keeping a box of secrets you're not allowed to open. The hard truth is this. In many relationships, what looks like mystery in a woman is actually a set of very predictable patterns. Unspoken fears, quiet resentments, and needs she never learned how to say out loud. Think back for a moment. When was the last time you felt something was clearly wrong, but she insisted nothing was happening and you ended up doubting your own perception? Many couples live inside a hidden script without realizing it. On the surface, everything looks normal. Work, chores, family dinners, maybe even sex. But underneath there is a loop running in the background. She feels something, she swallows it, she waits to see if you notice, you miss the signal, she quietly files that away as proof that you don't really see her. That loop often started long before you. It began in the way emotions were handled when she was a child. Maybe conflict meant shouting and slammed doors, so now she avoids direct confrontation and uses hints instead. Maybe love only felt safe when she was the good girl, so she learned to hide anger, jealousy, or disappointment. What looks like sudden drama today is often just an old defense system trying to protect her from shame and rejection. There is also the mismatch between emotional languages. He may be operating in a world of problems and solutions, where you say what's wrong and then fix it. She may be operating in a world of signals and atmosphere, where what matters is whether you feel her before you try to fix her. When those two languages collide, a simple conversation about dishes or a text left unseen becomes a battlefield for much deeper questions. Do I matter to you? Can I trust you with my ugly feelings? Will you still want me if I stop being easy to love? The secrets you feel from her side often live exactly in that gap, between what she needs, what she's afraid to admit, and what she doesn't believe you will understand. From her side, the story often starts much earlier than the moment you notice her pulling away. It begins in small, ordinary situations where she feels a sting and tells herself, "It's not a big deal, just let it go." You come home tired, scroll on your phone during dinner, answer her with half an ear while checking an email. She notices, feels a little pinch in her chest, and makes a quiet note in that invisible file. At first, she genuinely tries to be understanding. She tells herself you're stressed, that work is heavy, that this is just a phase. But somewhere inside, another voice whispers, "If you really mattered, wouldn't he try a bit harder?" That voice is one of her secrets. The constant, silent measuring of how chosen and how safe she feels with you. In many relationships, she is not hiding romantic affairs. She is hiding emotional intensity. She hides how jealous she gets of your attention to other things, because she doesn't want to sound clingy. She hides how angry she felt when you brushed off something vulnerable she shared, because she doesn't want to start a conflict she's afraid will go nowhere. She hides how scared she is that you might wake up one day and realize you could do better. Instead of saying these things directly, she might change her tone, become colder, or become busy in return. On the outside, it can look like random mood changes. On the inside, it is a storm of "what if I'm not enough?" and "what if I am too much?" There is also the quiet pressure she carries to be the emotional adult in the relationship. In a lot of couples, she is the one remembering birthdays, noticing when someone is off, keeping track of tiny details no one else sees. She becomes the manager of the emotional household without anyone officially giving her the job. The hidden cost of that role is that she feels overloaded and unseen. When she asks, "Can we talk later?" and you say, "I'm tired, maybe tomorrow," it doesn't just feel like a postponed chat. It lands as, "Once again, I have to carry this alone." She worries that if she shows you the full, messy version of her inner world, you will judge her or pull away. So she offers an edited version of her needs and stores the rest where you never see it. From the outside, you mostly see the edited version. Here's what it often looks like from your side. She says, "It's fine," but clearly it isn't. She brings up the same topic again and again until it sounds like nagging. She suddenly becomes distant, answers with short messages, or gets irritated over something tiny, like a dish in the sink or a delayed reply. It's easy to translate all of that into, "She's impossible to please," or "She just wants to control me," or "She's creating drama for no reason." But if we switch into her internal language, most of those behaviors are not about control or punishment. They are rough translations of one underlying question: do I really matter to you, or am I just part of the background of your life? When she goes quiet after you say, "You're overreacting," what you might see is a woman shutting down and sulking. Inside, she hears, "Your feelings are invalid. Your perception is wrong." Her silence is not always a strategy to manipulate you. Often, it is her nervous system hitting the brakes so she doesn't say something she'll regret or feel crazy arguing about. When she texts, "Did you get home?" and you don't answer for hours, she knows logically you're busy, but emotionally that unanswered message confirms a fear, "I am low priority." When she later brings up something from weeks or months ago, it may sound like she is keeping score, but for her it's proof that the pattern she feels is real, that she isn't imagining things. So when she suddenly becomes colder, more sarcastic, or less affectionate, it's rarely because she simply stopped loving you overnight. It is usually the only way she knows to stop giving more than she receives without having to say, "I feel deeply rejected." This doesn't excuse every hurtful thing she does. It does, however, change the frame from "she is the enemy" to "she is fighting hard to not feel abandoned, even if her methods backfire." What looks like secrecy or manipulation is often just fear wearing different costumes. There are also some harsh truths here that most couples avoid naming because they sting. The first one is this: her secrecy is not only about fear, it is also about control. When she doesn't say what she really needs, when she expects you to guess, she keeps the power to judge you later. If you get it wrong, she can tell herself, "See, he doesn't really know me." It's a painful loop, because she is both longing to be understood and setting up conditions that make true understanding almost impossible. Until she is willing to admit, "Sometimes I make you pass tests you don't even know you're taking," the story stays stuck on repeat. The second truth is on your side. Many men underestimate how much their defensiveness teaches her to hide. Each time she tries to bring something up and you immediately explain, justify, or turn it back on her, she learns, "It's not safe to be honest here." You might think you're just correcting details or protecting yourself from unfair criticism. But in emotional terms, what reaches her is, "Your pain is inconvenient. Please package it better before you bring it to me." Over time, she stops bringing it at all, and you're left wondering why she feels so distant while you insist you're always open to talking. A third truth belongs to both of you. Resentment is easier than vulnerability. It is simpler for her to roll her eyes, retreat into sarcasm, or complain to her friends than to sit in front of you and admit, "I feel unwanted and I don't know how to say this without attacking you." It is simpler for you to call her dramatic or ungrateful than to say, "I genuinely don't know how to make you feel loved, and I'm afraid I'll fail if I try." Many couples choose the hard comfort of resentment over the raw discomfort of truth, and then wonder why intimacy quietly dies. Some of her secrets are also about contradiction, wanting honesty but punishing it, asking for partnership while still clinging to the belief that, "If you really loved me, you'd just know." So what does change actually look like when you're both tired, busy, and already carrying a lot? It doesn't start with a grand conversation that solves everything in one night. It starts with small, repeated shifts in how you both show up. One of the most powerful is to create a tiny, predictable space where nothing has to be hidden. 10 minutes a day, no phones, no TV, just one question each. What's one thing you appreciated today? And what's one thing that felt heavy today? She practices answering without testing you, saying clearly what hurt or what she needs instead of waiting for you to guess. You practice listening without jumping in to fix or defend, even if part of you is itching to explain. On your side, a practical shift is to respond to her emotional signals as if they are early warnings, not attacks. When she says, "I feel like you don't care," instead of listing all the ways you do care, you start with, "Okay, tell me where that feeling comes from. I want to understand it, even if it's hard to hear." That one sentence lowers her guard more than 100 explanations. You can always clarify facts later. First, you need to show that her inner world is not an inconvenience. On her side, a real change is to retire the secret tests. Instead of thinking, "If he really loved me, he'd know," she tries, "I'd feel really loved if you could do this specific thing," and gives you a chance to succeed at something concrete. You can agree together on a few ground rules for harder talks. No threats of breaking up in the heat of the moment. No digging up old wounds just to win. A pause if either of you feels too flooded. These are not romantic gestures. They are the basic safety rails that allow two imperfect humans to tell the truth without destroying each other. None of us got a handbook on how to love. Most of us are hurt kids in adult bodies, using clumsy tools like silence, jokes, and tests to say, "I'm scared." Real change rarely looks glamorous from the inside. It is two people slowly learning to name what they feel before it turns into distance, to apologize without adding a list of excuses, to listen without secretly preparing a counterattack. It is also the courage to admit when a relationship has crossed into clear abuse or constant contempt, and to choose safety instead of staying just to prove you can endure. If you recognize yourself in this story, whether in her hidden tests or in your own defensiveness, let it be an invitation, not a sentence. You are not broken for struggling with this. You are human, but you do have choices. You can decide to stop guessing, to start asking better questions, and to treat each other's feelings as information, not as weapons. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it today, and consider subscribing for more honest conversations that help men and women understand each other a little better each week.